Okay, so now I've come to the end here, and let's talk color change. So this is all plain weave, and we're going to continue with plain weave in a different color. But to end anything and to begin anything, we need to pigtail. So I'm going to first pigtail the end, which is, I'm going under this one, so I'm going to go over, and it doesn't matter, it won't show that you're covering that extra one, but we're just going to go in between the two, pull that down so that the yarn is packed in. Okay, that's our pigtail. So I'm going to do yellow next. And when you're using this yarn, you want to pull it from the outside, because if you pull it from the inside, it's likely to knot. So pull it from the outside. I'm just going to do the same thing again. Let's say I want to do a horizontal line. So I just need 2 passes or 3 or 4 passes. I'll do it double thick just so you can see it. So I'm going to measure 4 times across, give myself a little bit of wiggle room, and then cut. This is just so when you're using that tapestry needle, you're not dealing with pulling a lot of yarn through. Let's stick this through the tapestry needle eye. And then another way to start a pigtail is you can, if this makes more sense to you, you can start the end between the first 2 warps. Pull that tail in between. And we're going to go around that first one so that we cover it, because we want to cover all of the odd warps. So going over all of the odd warped threads under all of the even. But you see we've gone under the first 2, but we're covering it, and you'll see that in a minute. And you can see that first one's covered by the pigtail. So now we bubble, and then we pack that weft down. Now we're going to do the same thing as we were before. We're going to go over all of the evens, under all of the odds. And just pull that through. Remember to bubble. And I'm going to do, you could just do 1, that just makes a thinner line. I'm going to do 2 to make a little bit of a thicker line. So going over all of the odd warp threads, under all of the even. You can see I kind of leave that edge a little loose, and that's just to give that warp a little space to stay in place, just so that's not pulling in. Okay, so second pass, or this is the end of our second pass. Okay. Might help you to also pack down the edges first and leave the bubble in the middle. Okay, so now we're going to end the yellow. So I'm going to leave a little space, cut that. Now we're going to pigtail it again, like before. And again, it's okay. I know this one's covered and this one shouldn't be, but in the end, you're not really going to see that unless you're using a super thick weft. Okay, so I did the pigtail, I'm gonna pack that down. And now, because I want it to be a line, I'm going to then cover it with that same purple again. So Just measure a few times across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then some space. And again, starting it with the pigtail. So I start with the end first. So I just stick the end between the first and second warp thread. This makes more sense to me, but you do you. We're going to wrap it around that first warp thread so it covers it, and then we're going to go over all of the odd warp threads under all of the evens. Bubble, pack down the sides, and then the bubble itself. You can see it starting to show that we're going to get a line there. You'll probably see it more when I go over all of these even warp threads under all the odds. Got our bubble going. We're going to pack it down on the sides and then the middle. Again, checking to make sure all of the warp threads are evenly spaced, that we're not pulling in too much. Then we'll just continue on with that purple color.